Bonjour and welcome to a new unboxing video. And yes, I'm not at my desk for once, which means it's going to be a big thing. And yes, it is a big thing. That's this really big box, which I'm trying to keep secret for the moment. I'm very, very excited because that's something I've been wanting for a while. And it's a book for once. And it is the X-Men by Dave Cockrum as a artifact edition. So what is an artifact edition? Basically, IDW, the publishing house, for years have been doing what they call the artifact editions for all kind of big comic book artists, and they've done Jack Kirby, they've got Steve Ditko, Bollywood, they've done John Byrne, they've done, I don't think they've done a George Perez yet, they've done Frank Miller, they've plenty of people, and they've decided to do a Dave Cockrum one for the most famous thing that Dave Cockrum ever did, which is called the Uncanny X-Men. So what an artifact edition is, so it's a giant sized book, and the reason why it's that big, that as you can see it's really, really big, and I'll show you the details of the cover. So Dave Cockrum's X-Men Artifact Edition. As you can see, the cover is in black and white, and the reason why it's so big, it's because this reproduces the actual comic book artwork that was used in the comic book. So it's not a comic book, it's shaped like a comic book, so you will have quite often full stories when they can. From time to time you don't have full story, just bits and bobs, but it's literally I would say a photography of the actual artwork in the comics. So that's why it's so big, and that's why it's in black and white. So to give you an idea of what it contains, this is, for example, notes by Dave Cockrum, written by Dave Cockrum at the time, and you can see this is a phoenix image. But what you can see from that phoenix image, you see how yellowed it is. This is actually because he actually touched up the artwork at the time when he was doing. Yeah, so that's basically what this whole book is all about. So you do have, of course, an introduction and all kinds of things. It's not a book that you read, it's a book that you look at, and that will give you an idea. We're going to start with X-Men, the giant size X-Men when they are, and you can see that they are actually not starting with the cover or the first page, because they actually don't have it. So basically you will have the actual artwork. I don't know if you can see, you've got some whiter bits and yellow. So this is from the paper, and the whiter bits usually are where it's been touched up, so you can have some Typex or bits of white paper that's been glued in, and that's what it is. That's a very interesting way of presenting comics through the actual real artwork, and it's quite fascinating. So this contains most of the giant size X-Men. I'm going to show you a bit more of this, but you will have for example, I'm just trying to see if there is any thing that would be interesting to show you to be different. For example, here on this page you can see that some of the text is actually missing, because basically they probably had to correct it and redo it afterwards, or maybe there was actually a bit of paper that was glued that became unsewed. So you do get all the defects and all the actual for example, on this page here you can see there's like a bit of scotch tape and there's some stains here, and that's basically the start of X-Men 94. And you do have most of his original run on the X-Men. So I'm just trying to show you, I mean, some of those pages are absolutely, this is absolutely stunning when you see the original artwork compared to the comic book. So those were done in 1970s. I mean, maybe you weren't born there, but basically those issues of X-Men were the ones that I started reading. I mean, I discovered X-Men through those stories with for example, this, and then you've got the Sentinels. And as you can see, it's not full issues because you've got issue 97, 98. You do have those absolutely beautiful. I mean, this is stunning artwork by. I think it's probably the best thing that Dave Cockrum ever did, to be honest. So you do have all of those. More beautiful pages. I mean, I could spend hours literally showing you new pages of this. I'm going to try and accelerate things a bit. You do have, and for me, I mean, that's the kind of thing that does the book. So you do have, for example, the start of X-Men 100, and if you do have this unfolding, and you've got the double page, which is probably, I think that for me, this is the double page that made me fall in love with the X-Men. To be honest, with the old X-Men versus the new X-Men. And of course, in the back of that, you do have some advertising. That was an advert that Cockrum had done for the comic book back in the 70s. So this whole book is full of those absolutely beautiful artwork, and so you do have the full stories. Well, not the full story. You have the stories, of course, and then let me try and show you something. Yes, of course, you do have the infamous double page with the Imperial Guard from the Shire Empire, which is very funny because it's also a reference to another thing that Dave Cockrum did, which was the Legion of Superheroes, because the original Imperial Guard, I don't know if you knew it, was actually based on the Legion of Superheroes. So that's quite funny. He did a huge amount of work. And then you do have, towards the back of the book, you do have the covers, and you even have covers from his later run when he came back a few years later, and covers and illustrations that he did for other things. You do have the basically preparation work. You do have even some color thing. This is, for example, original artwork that he did when he pitched for Uncanny X-Men. So you've really got a huge amount of beautiful art reproduced as it is, and those are absolutely smashing. Even unused characters, unused costumes. So really a very, very, very cool book. All kind of this is absolutely, this is stunning as well. I mean, this is fantastic. So here you go. IDW's Dave Cockrum X-Men Artifact Edition. It's just been released. Those books are usually quite expensive because they are limited editions, so they're between 80 and 100 pounds on average, but they are so nice. If you like an artist, I mean, it's really worth really getting this kind of book because it really shows off the artwork in the best possible manner. So here you go. It's was a bit different because no toys for once, no loot crate. So it's but we thought maybe you would enjoy something different. If you've enjoyed that unboxing and you would like to see more comic books and books in the future, please don't hesitate to comment below and let us know. Bye.